In January 1959, 9 hikers disappeared deep in the Ural Mountains of Russia. 60 years later, the contradictory evidence found at their final campsite continues to defy a single definitive explanation. Their route took them into a desolate wilderness where temperatures regularly plummeted to -30 degrees, punctuated by violent freezing winds. The expedition was led by Igor Dyatlov. He was accompanied by a team of professional survivalists, each a certified expert trained to navigate and endure severe high-altitude terrain. These were technicians of the wilderness, capable of maintaining standard camp routines and managing heavy equipment in the middle of a sub-zero freeze. Early in the journey, one member of the team fell ill and had to turn back. By returning to civilization early, he became the expedition's sole survivor. The remaining 9 pressed on toward their target, but they never sent their scheduled return telegram. When the silence stretched into weeks, authorities launched a massive rescue operation. The team's disappearance was immediately baffling. This was a unit explicitly trained to weather the exact conditions that had seemingly swallowed them. High on a snowy slope, the rescue team finally stumbled upon the campsite. They found the hikers' tent partially collapsed and buried under a layer of fresh snow. A closer inspection revealed that the tent's heavy canvas had been sliced open from the inside with a knife. The occupants had been desperate to escape, yet they fled into the deadly sub-zero blizzard without their heavy jackets, survival gear, or winter boots. A trail of footprints led down the slope toward the tree line, showing the hikers running through the deep snow in only thin socks or entirely barefoot. Searchers located the first 2 bodies near a large pine tree at the forest's edge. Their hands were badly burned, indicating a final, frantic attempt to start a fire for warmth. The remaining bodies were discovered nearby. Autopsies revealed that several hikers had sustained massive internal fractures, mirroring the impact of a high-speed car crash, yet their skin showed no external bruising or signs of a struggle. The forensic findings grew even more inexplicable. One victim was missing her tongue, others were missing their eyes, and testing found unexplained traces of radioactive material on their clothing. This created the central paradox of the crime scene. What force is capable of inflicting car crash-level trauma while simultaneously triggering an irrational, barefoot flight into the snow? Investigators first considered the most likely natural explanation, a delayed slab avalanche that struck the camp while the team slept. A moving wall of snow carries enough crushing weight to flatten structures and induce immediate panic in even the most seasoned climbers. The theory suggests the team heard the ice crack above them, assumed they were about to be buried alive, slashed their way out of the tent, and sprinted downhill to find cover. A slab avalanche features a heavy block of dense snow sliding rapidly downhill, carrying enough force to compress a chest and cause severe fractures. But the campsite contradicts this. The tent remained upright, not buried under a massive volume of snow. Furthermore, elite survivalists would know that fleeing a tent in heavy snow is only a temporary safety measure. Once the immediate noise stopped, they would have known they had to return for their boots and gear to survive the night. While an avalanche explains a sudden flight, it fails to explain why the tent remained intact and why the team never turned back to retrieve their vital supplies. With a natural slide ruled out, researchers turned to a hypothesis involving infrasound. High-velocity winds interacting with the specific topography of mountain peaks can generate deep, low-frequency acoustic waves that ripple downward through the air. While infrasound is silent to the human ear, the body still reacts to it. Exposure to these specific frequencies can induce severe panic attacks, nausea, and an overwhelming sense of impending doom in the human brain. A sudden acoustic panic attack would explain the irrational behavior inside the tent. Overwhelmed by a biological terror, the hikers may have slashed the canvas and fled into the night without a physical threat being present. However, the theory collapses when confronted with the physical forensic evidence. Low-frequency sound waves can explain a psychological breakdown, but they cannot physically crush a human chest, remove soft tissue, or irradiate a person's clothing. The failure of natural explanations led to theories of outside interference, ranging from secret military weapons to the paranormal. The presence of radiation, combined with internal trauma that mirrored an explosive shockwave, led many to suspect the group had stumbled into a Soviet weapons test or a military operation. Others suggested even more extreme fringe theories, ranging from alien encounters to an attack by a high-altitude Yeti. Yet the environment itself disproves these claims. Search teams found no blast craters, no signs of military equipment, and absolutely no footprints in the pristine snow other than those of the 9 victims. Neither a strike team nor a massive creature could have targeted the hikers without leaving a single trace in the snow. The evidence shows the hikers were completely alone on the mountain. The Soviet government eventually closed the official investigation, concluding only that an unknown compelling force had caused the deaths. The site was permanently renamed Dyatlov Pass to honor the group's leader. Today, the location remains an isolated stretch of split rock and ice. The landscape is completely unchanged from the night the hikers pitched their final tent. More than 60 years have passed, yet even with modern forensic technology and endless analysis, the case remains officially unsolved. The story of Dyatlov Pass endures because it exposes how vulnerable humans are when pitted against the scale of the natural world. We rely on logic and science to explain our surroundings, but these 9 hikers prove that the world can still produce events that break our rational frameworks. We have the forensic facts, but no consensus on what they mean. Was it a freak acoustic event, a military cover-up, or an unknown natural disaster? Let us know your theory in the comments, and like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.